Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you state your name, please?
Robert Flesher.
Robert, and how long have you been a member of Rotary?
I've been a member since 1981.
And how long have you lived in Buckhannon?
Since 1980.
And what brought you to Buckhannon?
Well, I'm a veterinarian, and at that time I was looking for a place to establish a veterinary practice, and Buckhannon looked like it could use a veterinarian at the time. There was only a half-time veterinarian working in town at that time, so I came here, and it's been a very wonderful place to live, raise my family, and a great place to establish a business. So, and in 1981, a friend of mine at that time invited me to come to Rotary. Rotary didn't know what it was about, but it was a great opportunity to be able to associate with other business people in the community, get to know people, and so it's been I've been in Rotary ever since.
And what do you like to do in Buckhannon, just with your free time?
Well, I'm very busy in my veterinary practice, but in my free time I do like to fish with my grandson, especially now. And back years ago at camp, I used to ski some. I like outdoor activities. I like a little bit of everything. I used to attend a lot of the performances at Wesleyan. Just pretty much just anything that was available to do. I explored it. Never really had time to make anything a everyday hobby or anything like that. But it's really been a nice town to live in.
Absolutely. And how many times have you been a Paul Harris Fellow?
3 times.
Wow. Do you have any experiences with Rotary that you'd like to share? Some memories or events?
Well, I don't remember specific events that I do, and I'm sure other members have remembered very well back in the days when our meeting was held over top at that time was the G.C. Murphy store downtown. There was a room that was rented out in the top of that building, and there was a cook who I believe she worked full-time for one of the fraternities at Wesleyan as their house cook, and she would make homemade meals, and she was kind of the I don't know, sort of like the house mother of Rotary, and she always had these wonderful home-cooked meals, and so that was a great experience. We used to, before we had substantial fundraising, we would sell hot dogs on the street during the Strawberry Festival.
Oh.
It was about the only fundraiser we had in those days. Our one community project was to do the 4th of July fireworks.
Oh, okay.
It was generally held at the Wesleyan football field.
Okay.
So that was our project, and money was tight. It was later in years that we began to do more fundraising, and more specifically the Rotary blood screening, which is a tremendous community service, but it also it provided revenues to do things that we were not able to do before.
Good. Yeah. So
As far as any specific, I because of my business activity, I found it very difficult to be able to engage in Rotary in the full scope that I maybe would have been able to do if I had a different job. But so I guess maybe I would call myself a knife and fork member, but I've always been there to support and to certainly with my finances as I was able to, and contribute volunteer time as I can. But
Yeah.
so
it's great. So when you first joined Rotary, were there women there?
no, that
Okay.
not that I can recall. I remember that issue coming up, and I'm sorry I can't remember the dates when that occurred, but that was an issue that was on more of a national or worldwide scope, I think, if I remember right. It wasn't just our chapter. It was all of Rotary, and so I guess I'm old enough to remember times when things were, how should you say it, but they were not issues of equality and so on. Has been an evolving process in our country, as everyone knows, and certainly and Rotary is part of that, and
Yeah.
women were welcomed into our club, and it was very long until we had a woman who was serving as president, and there's never, that I know of, never been any issues with that transition.
Great. So you were okay with the transition then?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So what advice do you have for anyone interested in joining Rotary?
Well, Rotary is a very worthwhile organization. Even for me, not being able to engage maybe in a real deep way, I have evaluated many times what the value of Rotary is, and you look at the things that Rotary does. And I can't remember dates, but we worldwide took on the issue of polio eradication.
Yeah.
When you read about that and the partnerships that have been developed with other individuals such as Bill Gates, you look at the international service aspect, you look at exchange students. It is a very worthwhile organization. It's something that you can feel very good about on whatever level you can contribute. And that has meant a lot to me to be a part of an organization. And at this point in time, we also do many, many things locally in our community.
Yeah.
Our local beautification project in the city involving specifically flowers and horticulture was initiated by Rotarian. And
Oh.
it grew to the point where actually the city of Buckhannon eventually took it over and expanded it. Dr. Bob Brain, who was a professor at Wesleyan,
Yeah.
was the originator of that. And I can remember volunteering to go plant flowers in some of the first gardens that he started. So we have a big footprint in Buckhannon, which is also a very good feel-good, and maybe that's not a good way to say it, but it's you can feel like you're doing something that really makes a difference if
Absolutely.
you're part of Rotary.
Yeah. And one last quick question for you. You said that you showed up to Rotary with a friend. Do you remember his name?
His name was Andy Moore, who was
Oh,
an
okay.
insurance agent in Buckhannon at that time with a firm called Chamberlain and Flowers.
All right.
I have not kept up with Andy. I hope that he's doing well.
All right. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share? I feel like you've said a lot, though.
Well, I would just say that I'm very proud, even though my activity level and contributions are limited. I am very proud to be a member of Rotary. It is a very, very worthwhile organization, and for anybody that wants to feel like they are contributing something very meaningful, it's a great opportunity.
All right. Thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate it.